The Pacific sky shakes. The sun glints off a white-silver wing slicing through the clouds like a razor. Inside the cramped cockpit of an A6M Zero, your knees almost touch the instrument panel. The metal frame vibrates violently as you shove the throttle forward. A shadow flashes above. An American F4F Wildcat dives in, guns blazing. You yank the stick. The Zero doesn't turn. It snaps, pivoting almost unnaturally. The Wildcat overshoots in a blur. You feel the airframe groan as the wing ribs flex. You line up the gun sight. The Wildcat explodes into flame, and for one terrifying second, you understand why U.S. pilots radioed home with trembling voices. The Zero, it can outclimb, outturn, and outrun us. We can't fight it. Cut to black. Title fades in. The Zero, dominance and downfall. Inside the Zero, space is a luxury the designers never intended to waste. The cockpit smells of sweat, gasoline vapors, and hot engine oil. The walls are so thin you can knock your knuckles on them and feel them flex. The Japanese engineers of Mitsubishi had a goal: absolute maneuverability. To achieve that, they violated every conventional rule of fighter design. A 940 horsepower radial engine sits just inches ahead of the pilot. Crude by Western standards, but incredibly lightweight. The Sakai drinks high-octane fuel through carburetors rather than fuel injection. In hard negative-G dives, the fuel sloshes, sputtering the engine. But the weight savings? That's what made the Zero lethal. No armor. No self-sealing tanks. Minimal radios. Everything that wasn't needed gone. The result? Turn rate unmatched. Climb, absurd for its time. Range, 1,600 miles, farther than any Allied fighter. The Zero's airframe wasn't just light, it was fragile. Instead of steel spars, it used lightweight aluminum alloy, wooden structural elements, minimal ribbing. The wings twist when you bank sharply, but that flexibility lets you perform a turn no Wildcat or P-40 could match. American pilots learned quickly. Never turn with a Zero. Dive away or die. Inside the nose and wings. 2 times 7.7mm Type 97 machine guns. 2 times 20mm Type 99 cannons. The 20mm shells hit like sledgehammers. One burst could tear a bomber's wing clean off. But ammo capacity? Tiny. After 7 to 8 seconds of fire, the cannons click empty. The Zero was a scalpel, not a machine gun nest. When the Zero appeared in 1940, Allied intelligence thought it was impossible. A fighter with range of a bomber and speed of a racer? No way. But reality hit hard. At the start of the Pacific War, Japan's experienced pilots, combined with the Zero's agility, tore through Allied aircraft. Zero versus Buffalo Zero wins almost every engagement. Zero versus Wildcat Zero turns inside it every time. Zero versus P-40 only survives and dies. U.S. pilots said, "If a Zero is behind you, pray." Above Guadalcanal, the Zero dominated early skies. Pilots like Saburo Sakai performed superhuman aerial maneuvers, outnumbered and still victorious. In one legendary battle, a lone Zero tore into a formation of SPD Dauntless dive bombers, damaging multiple aircraft before slipping away untouched. Weight turn rate positioning. Positioning killed. It wasn't armor that made the Zero fearsome. It was the ability to choose the terms of the fight. The Zero's dominance shattered the moment the U.S. solved the puzzle.
A single .50 cal round could ignite the fuel tanks. Zero pilots burned alive because no armor plating, no self-sealing tanks, thin fuselage. Against new U.S. planes like the F-6F Hellcat and F-4U Corsair, the Zero was hopeless. U.S. pilots invented the thatch weave, a defensive maneuver deliberately designed to counter the Zero's turning advantage. Suddenly, the Zero's greatest strength became irrelevant. The Sakai engine couldn't be upgraded significantly. Japan lacked the industrial power for high-horsepower engines, like the American Pratt & Whitney R2800. The result? F-6F Hellcat 2,000 horsepower, F-4U Corsair 2,000 plus HP P-38 Lightning 1,600 horsepower times 2, P-51 Mustang 1,600 horsepower. The Zero? Still 940 HP. It was like entering a superbike race with a motorcycle that hadn't changed in 5 years. Inside the cockpit, surrounded by rattling metal, hot oil fumes, and the constant threat of fire, the Zero wasn't just a machine, it was an ideology. Victory through maneuver, not armor. It succeeded brilliantly, until the world changed around it. Today, the A6M Zero stands as a paradox. One of the greatest early war fighters ever built. One of the most obsolete late war fighters ever fielded. It dominated because it sacrificed everything for agility. It fell because that sacrifice became a death sentence. Still, the Zero remains iconic, a symbol of precision engineering, daring doctrine, and the brutal skies of the Pacific fade out.